This is continuation in history of your chapter 4. I'll discuss about some points of commercial policy of the British. Now, as per the Charter of 1830, East India Company's monopoly came to an end and Indian trade was open to all British subjects. Now, under the company rule, second point, Indian handicraft industry, especially textile industry, declined steadily, and the income generated from it and the people financially dependent on this industry were adversely affected. Third point, a vast majority of craftsmen were forced to give up their livelihood and look for alternative employment as landless laborers. Next point, apart from draining resources, the British also amassed all the wealth from India to finance their administrative expenses and industries. Now, what was the major impact of these policies? First point, as a result of the Industrial Revolution in England, complete transformation came about in the economic relation between India and England. There was an unequal competition between cheap machine-made goods and handmade fine goods, fine handicrafts. Now, second point, before the British came to India, Indian rulers and nobles, they used to give a good amount of patronage to Indian handicrafts. But after the integration of many Indian kingdoms into the British Empire, this patronage was largely reduced. Third point, one of the major objectives of the British in India was to fulfill the continuous demand of raw material for British industries. Next point, the British imposed heavy custom duty on India handicraft and goods, making them economically inviable. Now, growth of modern industries. Famines broke out in different parts of the country. Now, the Famine Commission of 1880 and 1901 recommended revival of Indian industries. The demands of Indian National Congress led to the establishment of Imperial Department of Commerce and Industries in 1905. Swadeshi movement, which advocated use of indigenous goods, also encouraged Indian industrialization. Now, British helped in establishing some mechanized industries in India. Now, the first point, the Bengal Coal Company was established in 1843. Coal mining remained confined to Bengal and Bihar. Now, plantation industry received a boon as tea became favorite drink of the Western world. Tea gardens in Assam, Bengal and South India increased their production by 10 times. Coffee, Shinkona, rubber were also other items in plantation industry. Jute industry developed in the middle of the 19th century. First jute mill was established in Rishra near Kolkata. Kolkata became the hub of jute industries. In 1887, there were around 20 jute mills employing a large number of people. Now, soon jute emerged as a major item of export. Then comes sugar industry. Developed in the early 20th century, India became the largest sugar producing country in the world. Now, the history of iron and steel industries in India began with the establishment of Tata Iron and Steel Company in Bihar. In 1911, with the help of Indian capital and enterprise, however, iron production increased only after independence. Now, Indian industrialization. Unbalanced industrial growth. The establishment of industries was not uniformly carried out throughout India. It was limited to certain types of industry and specific cities. It was situated. Negligent growth of basic infrastructure. The British established industries with the objective of making immense profit by buying cheap raw material, paying low wage to the workers. They took no interest in developing their basic industries such as the iron and steel. Discrimination against Indian industries. The Indian industries were discriminated against and not given protection. They had to face stiff competition from the British industries. The Indian industries were demanded a protectionist policy. Lack of heavy industries. The Indian economy lacked heavy or capital industries, thereby making the industrialization process bad. Now, difficulties in obtaining loans and licenses. Government's attitude towards Indian industries was very hostile. Government followed a free trade policy which favored foreign industrialists. Indians had to find ways of surviving in a highly unfavorable atmosphere. New social stratification. Indian society was divided into two distinct classes, the capitalist and the worker. Mass scale migration of farmers to cities. Due to frequent famines and excessive land revenue demands, many farmers were forced to give up their land. They migrated to cities as industrial workers. Thus, there was a demographic change. From the villages, they started coming to cities. Development of infrastructure. In the 19th century, the British started developing infrastructure to India. They built a network of roads, railways and canals for better movement of goods and raw materials throughout the country. Lord Dalhousie got the Grand Trunk Road reconstructed and inaugurated the first Indian railway line from Bombay to Thane in 1853. He also established the postal and telegraph department, introduced the half-anna stamp for letters to be carried from one part of the country to another. Now, this is finished your fourth chapter. You read the chapter properly. You read the textile industry, also case study was given here. And next week I will send you the questions. But you read the chapter properly. Each line try to learn. Okay? Thank you.